Okay, so right now I'm setting the temporary power box here. This was the first hole I dug at, and I ran into this conduit here that looks like it's going to be cable TV, and then I ran into this cable that looks like it's an old ground cable. It looks like it's a 6-gauge copper. So I moved my efforts over here. So code requires me to have 2-inch PVC, so I have it coming up here, then it goes down into the trench, and then it goes up into the power box right here, and the utility will make the final connections there. So the only thing I need to do now is make this level and plumb, and then backfill it, and then contact the utility in the city, come inspect it. I'm done with my power pole here, so I went out and got myself the 666 aluminum cable, 6-gauge, and I have line 1 going here, my neutral going here, line 2 going here, and then the ground going down here, and then I have the copper wire you can see down there that goes down inside, then comes up and connects to my ground rod. So I've got to call the city now to get this approved, and then the utility company will come over, and I'm hoping it won't be too much for them, but to take this, it'll go down this 2-inch conduit down through there, down through and up to here, and they'll tie my power into their box. This is my temporary power pedestal, and I had a few problems with the city approving it. So if we're going to take a look at this, so right here, my ground rod going into the ground right here, and then 6 feet over there somewhere is the other ground rod. So I have the 2 ground rods 6 feet apart. I got the wire in here ready to be pulled. I got my neutral, my 2 hots, and one of the things I forgot that they did gig me on is that I have my ground going to my ground bus right here, but I forgot the ground bus up there, so I just had to run a piece of copper up here to go up to my ground bus up the top. And then there was a little bit of a disagreement. They're telling me that all these outlets here, actually what I need to do is put this thing back together so you can see it better. So the inspector was telling me that all these sockets here have to be GFCI. Well, that's a little bit contrary to code. Now, another interesting thing, this is basically made by Midwest. Midwest makes thousands and thousands of these temporary power things, and I couldn't believe that they would sell them or they're not up to code. But anyway, I'll flash the code on the bottom of the screen, but this one right here is GFCI. It's not a problem here. But he was telling me that these other ones had to be GFCI, and if I were to pull these breakers out and put a GFCI breaker in here to do all these, it'd probably cost me about $400 or $500. But there is another part of code that says that one part of code tells you that only about, like if I remember, 110, 120 volts at under 20 amps is one category, and then these other ones is a different category. And yes, they either have to be GFCI or you have to have a grounding program. On the back of my pedestal, I have this bunch of papers here. So what this paperwork is, this Assured Equipment Grounding Conductor Program. Has an introductory page here, has like what project you're working on, the site address, who the program administrator, in my case that'd be me. And it's a little bit windy here, so hopefully it has a little bit more information about housekeeping, enforcement, and this is where you actually sign your name and such. And I will put a copy of this as a Google link at the beginning of this video, so that you can, if you want to go in there, you can go to Google Docs and get copies of this. Well, this page right here is for continuity tests on your extension cords, and these are the logs. I'm having a hard time keeping all this stuff straight. And then there's a daily visual inspection, repair and retest, and equipment inventory, And the last one is instant reports. Basically, this program is for extension cords, and it just wants to make sure that extension cords are grounded properly, they're not defective, and if there's a short, that no one gets electrocuted and all the whatnot. But this is going to be kept on the back of my power pole right here, so anyone can inspect it. Now, if you want more information on this grounding program, there's also a little attachment I'll put on the end of this video to a little kind of like a movie presentation on more details on the grounding program.